All right, boys and girls, it's the afternoon. It's the 4 o'clock whistle. Let's make sure that we are getting ready for the kiddos to come home. All right. All right, guys. We have quite a week. It's been a busy week for me. It's been a lot. But that's okay. But before we jump at anything, guys, good to see you. Who we got in here? We got Dan Fialo. Good afternoon to you. Bart Locker. Hello. Who's this guy? I don't even know who that is. What's that new asset? What's he talking about? Is it Wake Up? Is that what we're doing?
Bitches, what's up? Wake up. It's the morning time.
We'll need to get a new afternoon one. I love it. That's a good one. Although I think we just went to PG-13 on that one. So that's all good. Thanks, dude. I appreciate that.
Down, do the reading.
Now we're just having fun. People. Now it's good. You ready for a new asset, though? Because, guys, this is the time. We're going to go over a few things. Want to make sure that we are getting ready for, again, family to come home. Make sure that we are taking what we learned in the morning from Dom and Jason, right? The beard and the huaf, the team, the super team we see in the morning. But we want to come here, make sure that we kind of talk about that, bring it, remind you, kind of know what to do with your kiddos. Think about it. Just be intentional with it all. And it's going to be good. But before we do that, you know what we need? Before we do that? Who's ready for it? We're going to share it. What are you doing that you're proud of? All right, guys, what are we proud of? I want you to let me know. What is it? Let's give some props to yourself when we don't. Remind ourselves what we're doing well, what we don't remind ourselves, what we've done well, what we're thinking about, those small steps. We're never going to give ourselves credit. If it's not for you, make it for a partner, make it for someone else. We got Ann in the house. She's popping in. What's happening now? Yeah. Ann, we're doing some stuff. We're doing some good stuff about the proud moment right now. We're talking what we're proud of. What are we proud of?
What are you proud of?
What am I proud of? I had a hard night last night, to be honest. Hard night. Feel like it was difficult with the kids. Definitely more of like a blow up situation than anything else. So I feel like I'm kind of like coming down off of that. And it's like not even about me. It's like more of a like too many toys. We're always asking to clean up kind of situation. You know what I mean? Have you been there?
My parent, yes.
Of course, you're a parent.
I try to avoid Amy's room at this point. It's like
but,
I can't even say anything. I was the same as a kid. Like there's no like I look in this room and it's like this is exactly what my room looked like, or would have looked like if my mom wouldn't have been on my case all the time. It's like, do I want to be like? On the one hand, yes, I want her to have a more organized space. I know it's good for her, but also like, I don't want to be like my mom was. Like she was also like over the top with some of these things. Like she was super into like ironing our clothes, and to be like super. She would go into our closet, and if it wouldn't be nicely put out because she ironed it, she would take the claw. So I call that. She'd take her arm, put it all out, and now we do that. My mom was a good person, by the way, okay? But she was very particular about like how our clothes looked. And I was like, I just don't care.
Yeah.
It's like if there's paper on the floor, then it just means you were drawing and you were creative. I was like, it's a lot of paper though.
Yeah. It's like I definitely respect tidiness and putting things away. But at some point, I feel like it does. Like, I'm not great at task switching. And I also know that one of my daughters isn't either. So, like, to ask to break mentally from a certain task and then put something away and then be like, no, just come back to it. I'm like, you don't know me if you think I'm going to come back to this. Like, out of sight, out of mind. It's not going to be here. I'm going to have no motivation to do it again. Like, my creativity is now broken. And I'm not blaming you. I'm just letting you know that, like, you know, that's just how I'm going to work. But you keep asking me to do it that way. So, yeah, it's hard. My wife likes to have everything in its place which is great. So props to Lauren for having everything. I have a hard time, I think, when more things need to have like bins. I'm big on like bins. I'm like, if we need more bins for something, like if we just buy more boxes and more bins to put things away to get cleaner, we're not really doing anything.
Yep.
I was at, so I think this is where my challenge started. Yeah, last night it was we're always asking our youngest, who's like she's 4, so she's like just destroying everything. But like that's her way of being creative in the moment. So I think I definitely love that. But then again, like we get to the point where it's like clean everything up. It's the same thing as like putting your kid in a restaurant, but your kid, it's not a good environment for your kid, right?
Mhm.
And so it's like, but then why are you going to continually put your kid in an environment that they're not going to thrive in, right? If thrive can be a word that we use in this instance. And so I'm like, the same thing with like more bins. It's like, we just create more bins and more organization for a child that wasn't organized when we had less bins of things,
Mhm.
right? And so that's kind of like that was my hard moment. It's like, we just need less bins. We need less stuff. But it's definitely been a hard week for me. Just really busy with stuff with beginning of the year and like challenges and in-person things. When I do most things remote and bouncing around, I had to leave early this morning, yesterday morning. I'm leave early again tomorrow, but Lauren had to pick up some slack. That's usually done in the morning. That was definitely tough. So
Do you feel if you have a rough evening, the night helps you to like reset, or do you carry some of that over?
I carry so much over. When someone says that they don't hold a grudge, they're not talking about me.
Same.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. If you wrong me in a way, I'm not forgetting it. It doesn't mean I'm gonna like hate you. It just means that I am remembering it. It's there, and I think it's a good thing in some ways. But I also have the superpower of being able to overthink things, and I love that about myself. So that becomes a big issue.
No idea what you're talking about.
Blaze,
Never
what's
done
going on?
that.
Yeah. Um, we got, wait, hold on. Proud moment. We had a proud moment over here. Proud moment. Finishing work early today to head home for Bailey's cheer and basketball game tonight. That's awesome. That's awesome.
I think it's also Dom's Friday. I was listening in this morning, and I listened later when I was awake.
Yeah.
It was a good morning show.
What was the main message that you took away?
Now I'm gonna be like Dom, because Dom had moments too he wanted to talk about and he forgot about them, and now I'm like, there was like 3 or 4 moments I'm like, oh, I'm gonna totally bring this up, and I didn't write it down. Even though your brother said, like, if you know you're gonna forget something, you should write it down, and I didn't do it. And now I'm just like, man, there was something I want to bring up.
That's okay. Think about it. I'm not going to sit here in silence, but I'm going to let you have your silence in your own head. It'll be okay. But you know what? I think what we can do, speaking of the morning show, just to talk about it so we know, because I think we got good something leading into
I remember one. Dom
What?
did he got a new asset for the show. And
Oh,
it's
yeah,
Dom
yeah.
said he loved that one, and it's my favorite one too. It pops so often in my head.
What's up, bitches?
When you said
What's
that
up?
one time on the
Wake
show, and I
up.
was like, "Hey, that's so bad
It's
to
the
people."
morning time.
I just can't get it off.
Oh, goodness. I'm glad he caught that. I think he went back. That was a while ago.
But
It
I
was a
remember
while.
that show when you did that.
I feel like I did it slightly not out of anger, but I feel like in that moment I was like, I'm angry. So, this is what I'm gonna yell at myself. Exactly. When Dom's driving right now, most likely, right? Dom, are you? Wait, no. What time is it? Oh, what time is it for you? Same time for you. It's 1:12.
For Dom, it should be my time. It's like 1:12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. So morning show. What do they talk about? Morning show. Was there any? They didn't answer me. I texted the group. What's the tag team? They don't want to work as a team. Dom's angry. I'm just making all these assets. Just gets mad. Stop getting mad at me, Dom. But Dom did say, what did Dom say? Superpower is not overthinking and not holding a grudge. That's great. That's great. That's great.
He's just rubbing it in.
I think it is. I think that's what it is. It is all about guys. Are we doing what we ask our kids to do?
No. That's why they're not doing it. Let's just be honest as a parent, okay? I know when she's like not doing something, it's like, yeah, it's because I haven't done that shit, and now I'm trying for you to be better than me, and that's not working. So that's when you have to like
You
do
can't
your
be
own
better
work.
than me. That's
Just
not
learn from my
allowed in this game.
experience, okay?
Yeah. What is your biggest disconnect between what you ask your kids to do and what you don't do? Do you have one in mind?
The thing is, I think I stopped asking her because I know I'm not good at it. That's the
Yeah.
cleaning up or like staying organized, and not as much screen time, which I'm like, I'm not the role model for that,
Yeah.
and I know that.
It is. Yeah.
I'm always struggling with that too. Like I thought about it this morning. It's like, I don't know. Screen time is such a loaded thing for me. Like how to use it too. Like my husband and I both work with screens a lot, so I feel like I know she sees it a lot, but she
Yeah.
also, yes, she like watches shows and stuff on there, but she's also creating a lot. Like you probably know that too, that you always kind of need a background noise. So she will have a show on in the background, but she will actually be on it and just draw for hours on Procreate.
Ooh, that's a really interesting one because I know that that's what one of my daughters needs. And I think my wife is not that way. And so I think she's like, wait, no, you have to focus. I know in my mind, I'm like, but she is focusing. Like that is her way of focusing. And I also know like when she's not focusing. But it's yeah, that's a big one. Yeah, screen time is a tough one. There's there's been many times where my kids are like, "Can I have the iPad?" And I'm like, "I know you're going to go on YouTube." And like we've tried to like not have them use YouTube. Like we've not had it on, and then we put it on, and we like did all of the protections or whatever, but like they still find like the mind-numbing videos of like kids playing with toys or like adults now playing with toys. And it just is like, and I hear it in the background, and I hear it's like this one girl's voice. I hear all the time, and it's just like, oh, I know this is going nowhere. It's just like this never-ending loop of like YouTube videos, and that's hard. And then they're like, can I have the iPad? And I'm like, no screen time. As I'm like now on my phone, like saying that, and they're like, I don't understand this. Like, what? Can you screen dad? So. I have been listening to, this isn't like a new idea, but I've been listening to two guys on their podcast. It's more like health and training and stuff like that. But two guys, they're pretty loose in their overall topic and direction. So it's really a conversation. But they were talking about it's not no screen time, but it's a no scroll time. So like when you're on your phone, like they're kind of talking about how, have you ever fallen asleep and your thumb is like you're on your phone, your thumb's like there, but your thumb like now goes onto the screen. It's like you like wake up and like somehow you've navigated to like you're about to like someone's stuff or like repost it. And you're like, no, what's going on? It's like your thumb has like a mind of its own. So like that is the worst case to be in. So it's like they were talking about getting on their phone, but it's just no scroll. Like your phone, like you can open up an app, but you can't scroll. I thought that was an interesting thing. And I think about it. So it kind of like if there's a moment I'm like, I'm not going to scroll. So no scroll days, I think, are going to be a good one in the future. I have to be more intentional.
It's always like the forbidden fruit too. Like we all know, like when we left our home, all the things we were like limited to do, like the moment we had our own money or had our own apartment, we were like, I'm going to do all of that excessively because I can. So I was like, if you hold them back, are they just gonna go the other side of the pendulum as soon as they can and go like overboard? Like what's the good middle? It's the same with like junk food or like meeting with friends, working, all that kind of stuff. Is like, what do you limit to then? Is a certain limitations hurtful in the long run? Are they going to go overboard because they always had to have done things a certain way?
Yeah. I'm thinking now in my childhood, the strictest family I could remember, their house smelled like mothballs. Um, and the mom was so strict, like the tidiest, cleanest person ever. Like didn't allow us in their house because it was like we were gonna dirty it out. So I remember that. And then like if we got allowed in their house, it was like get in the basement now. We're like, ah. So we like get down there and like we're still afraid to like do anything. So we just sit there instead. We're like, this is boring. She's like, I did it. And so we like leave. But remember that. And then thinking about like her kids right now and like if they like rebelled that way. But yeah, I mean, I definitely see that rebellion a lot, like with just, you know, in my profession with like a lot of like binge eaters, like a lot of people like, you know, many people who I talk to that are like binge eaters, it's like they do it a lot of times because of like what they didn't get as a kid. And they're like, yeah, I just can't see it. I want it. I just keep having it. And so like, I know one of my greatest feelings is like when my kids like because we do dessert every night. It's like a like dessert, good. Let's make sure it happens. And then when my kids they're having dessert and they say they're done and there's like some left, I'm like, there it is. Always makes me feel good because it tells me that they're like actually eating for like satisfaction. So that's like the one thing. But they're gonna grow up now being like, we just need bins. We just need give me all the bins. So that's just a tough one. Um, but yeah, so I think all those values are whatever it is we think we're not doing. I always like Ryan Holiday's last lines in this. And today he titled this, If You Want Your Kids to Respect You. It's a good one. You just got to basically respect yourself, do what you actually ask them to do. But his last paragraph here was get your stuff straight. Be the parent you know you can be the person you know you can be. The rest will follow. And if it doesn't, then at least you'll be strong enough to deal with whatever comes. And I didn't like that paragraph because the ending is like, well, who knows if it doesn't work? Well, it'll be all right. Like, I always hate that. I always hate the
basically
idea.
nothing
Like,
matters, right?
I hate when someone says it'll all work out. I hate that. I don't know. Am I wrong for not liking that?
I see it sometimes because I also am an overthinker, and I feel like that easily gets you into like the worst case scenarios, and like I had to really pull back from that. And it's like if shit is gonna happen, it's gonna happen anyways. Like me overthinking upfront about it is not gonna make the situation better. So I'm
Mhm.
trying to pull a little bit more back of like being like, it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. But
Yeah.
I think there's a middle ground in that. I think it's okay to sometimes overthink because you care.
Mhm.
You just want to do the right thing, and I think it's part of some of us, just our personality type.
Mhm.
But not letting it in the way of enjoying the moment.
Yeah. I mean, it is. Why, Tom? Why are you yelling at me? It will all work out. Yeah, no, Mike, I think that it is like, I think it's good. I mean, like, I think accepting we don't have everything in our control is good, but at the same time, I think where my mind goes is to indifference. It's like, we'll just
Mhm.
be indifferent about it. And then like, you know what? The best case scenario will happen. It's like there's nothing we can do, right? There's not one thing we can do, right? That's what you're telling me. And so yeah, I think in some situations it's definitely good. And then, you know, I think most of the time it does end up working out. It ends up not being as bad as we think. So I think in moments when like I think that we like catastrophize, it's never as bad as we usually think, right? It might not be as good as we hope, but it might not be as good. And so Brofit just works out. That's good. I like that. Usually when it's warmer out, I'll just do my evening walks instead of anything else, but it's just colder here. And Mike, I'm not saying you're wrong. You know that. I was just like the indifference always kind of gets me. I think it kind of worries me. But yeah, no, but it's if I don't like that line, I can't say it and I can't live like it. I can't live like it's just going to work out if I don't like to say it, but I tell my kids that. So it's a good reminder. Brofit,
I think the
anything
important
you
part
want
is
to give your...
if you are a person like that who like, and again, I feel like there has to be a middle ground of like not caring versus like overthinking.
Mhm.
But if you do have a moment you overthink, and I think it's important to not pull others into that. Like we had recently a moment in our family not really gonna talk about what it was, but my husband just went completely, like, worst case scenario wasn't even like in my that could ever be a possibility. And so
Mhm.
it was just like the whole evening just went completely down from there on. It was just like trying to like calm down is like this is not a big deal. Like it's just not. But I've seen myself in that because I used to be a lot like that. Just
Mhm.
worst case scenario, all the possibility scenarios that I could possibly happen. And I think my brain still does that, but I don't go into the ooh, what if this happens? Like if it happens, I'm gonna deal with it. Like I'm not gonna I think it's also I don't have the time right now to overthink stuff. And I think that's helpful for me versus like
Sure.
I'm in so many different projects and do stuff all the time that my day is just planned out with shit. And like and he just has more time, I feel like, that I feel like he has the time to just do the overthinking. It was like I don't have time to overthink before it happens. When it happens, I will think about it or figure it out. But until then, it's like just get it away.
Yeah.
Can't.
I hear you. Maybe that's what the part of this I didn't like. The end of this says, be the person you know you can be, the rest will follow. And if it doesn't, then at least you'll be strong enough to deal with whatever comes. I think just kind of like what you're saying too. It's like, you know what? You're gonna maybe get over the catastrophizing. Maybe once you realize that, like, even if the worst case scenario does happen, you're probably gonna be okay. Right? Because you're going to be strong enough to deal with it.
'Cause
I guess
what is
that's
that kind
good.
of thing? You've made it through 100% of your problems, issues, kind of thing. Like you've always figured out your life.
Oh,
Otherwise, you wouldn't be here today.
yeah,
That
yeah.
kind of thing. Like I do like to keep looking back of like, have I been to something similar or worse, and like, how did I make it through? And it doesn't mean you can't be upset in the first moment. Like when something happens, of course you should be upset. Like it's your life. It's influencing you. It's making it harder in that moment for you and your family, probably. But like, how much can I? It's coming back to that control moment. Can I
Yeah,
do something? Then I'm gonna do it. And if I don't, I'm just gonna have to wait.
yeah. It's
But your waiting is hard.
it is hard. I wanted to. I'm not going to give a choice today, but I do have a good little segment. I think it's going to play right into it.
Did you hear the great news?
So we got good news, and so this is I want to think of this as current events to share with your kids. I like this one. I thought it really played into what was exactly going on today. Hold on, I'm trying to stay organized over here. So let's get a banner up so we know what we're talking about. So whether it's current events or whatever's going on, we know Mr. Rogers had said, in crisis, look for the people that are helping, so that you can be maybe less anxious. I don't know if I can share this. Maybe let me see. I'm not good with sharing stuff on screen. I know. Can I? And what do I do?
You go on the
If I
little
do this
plus
and then I
screen
go,
button.
do I share my? Is it sharing my whole screen though?
No, it should show you which one you want to screen, or which one you want to show.
Don't show these tips again. Oh, I see. Okay, cool. And then I want to do this one. So this was good. So this was a story. Can you guys see that? Yeah, you guys can see that, right? Good. I guess I have to go off screen. So I don't know if you guys know this, but this was a really cool story. There was a Broadway show. I'll start with that. Has anyone heard of the Broadway show Come From Away? And you're going to be the one to answer me right now. I can't even see the chat, so you're going to say no if that's the case. So if you don't know, during 9/11, all planes were grounded. And there is, if I can remember exactly, right? So up in Canada, in Newfoundland, and I know there's someone in our VFriends community who is, I think, from at least close to around there on the East Coast. But there's a big airport, or at least this like area that a lot of planes land, I'll say. It's right over there in Newfoundland. And on 9/11, when all the planes were grounded, because no one knew what was going on, all the planes that went there had a lot of people, and those a lot of people had nowhere to go, really. Like they had to stay there. They didn't know what was going on. But what happened during that time is that the whole community had come together, and they basically started to house all these people who were like stranded for days. And the community like not only opened their doors, like they're like, oh, we got people, they have to stay somewhere, so let's let them stay with us. And so not only did they just let them stay, but they just like they got their cars, they lined up, they picked people up at the airport, they brought them home. When they were able, they fed them obviously. When then they had to go back to the airport, everyone just kind of like they lined up in a line and got everyone to go. So recently it happened again. I'm just going to check the date, let you guys know what I'm looking at over here. So this is the Good News Network. I've been trying to look for some of these. Dom, did you send this to me? Yeah, maybe you did too. But
I think we talked about it and Dom found it too. I know that like it existed. I just hadn't seen it in a while.
yeah. And so I was thinking about like these values or the things that we like want our kids to do, like, be open, share, invite people in, whatever it is. But this is just January 14th, right? So it's yesterday. So this is very recent, which is nice. But it happened again. So the town of Gander, they showed up again. So there was a big ice storm. Planes had to land over there, and so they had people that were forced to stay basically overnight. And I guess I'm just showing this whole thing so you guys know that I'm like reading from it. But they lined up and they got people together. They picked them all up from the airport. They brought them back to their homes. They let them in. They fed them, and then they just took care of them. And then some of them I think went to this like quality hotel where they said that like cars just came and they dropped them off and they picked them up, and I thought that was like really cool. Like there was nothing about it. And if you guys don't know that whole situation of 9/11, like it came together in this show called Come From Away. And not only was it a really awesome show, just from an acting standpoint, like all the actors played instruments. It was a good Broadway show. But these people showed their kids, what it means to be neighborly, to be open, to be sharing, to be caring, how to show up, right? How to be kind. I thought that was awesome. So I think it's a really cool story that you can kind of share with your kids and say, you know what, when tough things happen, my people around it definitely help. So I thought that was cool. Thought that was a cool story to kind of share with you guys. So share it with your kids if you definitely can. We'll keep pulling things up if I can find them. If there's things that are going to be interesting.
How would
We'll
you
talk.
share something like this with your kids? I always wonder, like, there's all these things happening. It's like always like, how do you package it to like make it interesting enough for your kid that's not just out of the blue telling them a story?
Yeah, I think it's more about the value driven thing, right? So it's like whether it's about sharing, whether it's about showing you care, whether it's about helping out, whether it's about community driven efforts. I think people talk about the idea of, I don't know, people want to help and kind of be part of a soup kitchen certain parts of the year, whatever's going on. I think it's a great story and a great share to bring up with your kids and be like, not only is this something that like we can go help with like a soup kitchen, but we can also here's this story of this whole community that showed up. Like they wanted to make sure that these people were taken care of, and they did it together, right? No one was really fighting it. It was interesting. So that's what I would say.
Do you know if they write in there every day on that website? It's like a daily thing.
Do they write every day? I was trying to like go back and like find maybe other ones that were maybe talking about it, but it looks like they're I would say it's up to date. I don't know if it's daily. I'm like trying to find, I even tried to use ChatGPT. I was trying to find like 3 good spots to go to. It's just hard to find good news. Like it's hard to find the like even there was what was the other one that I was on? I was on another like kids. It's a kids like specifically a kids website. Let me see if I can go back.
I feel like if you have something that where you can daily tap into, you can almost make it a habit. Like each night for dinner or something, like let's share the positive news of the day. Instead of like making it a random thing, making it like a habit. Like what was something positive that we learned about today or something like that would be cool.
Yeah. And I think it's good because like I know that my my oldest came home and she was like, oh, did you know that basically like my daughter like dropped something about like Venezuela, and like it was like the situation that she kind of mentioned, like what happened, but it was like kind of weird. It was like something like I don't know, the phrasing of it, like, did you know that our president like helped out or did something. It was phrased in a way I was like, oh, that's how you learned that. And I didn't want to correct her, but I did want to kind of like bring up the idea, like just have that conversation. So I think like those current events and kind of like certain kids' ways or whatever it is, I think could be a good way. So yeah, well, I think it's good to kind of I think it's a great way to break into conversation. Does anyone have a hard time like not talking with their kids, but do you have a hard time to like bringing something up to like get it engaging? I think a lot of people do, right?
Yeah, I feel like because you don't want to just bring something up out of the blue, where it's like, no, we talked about something else, and then you're like, oh, I want to bring in these good news, like when is a good time to bring that up without it seeming like completely out of the blue?
Yeah. Bring up the current events, guys. If there's a current event that you know about too, would love to share it. Is there a current event? I'd love to know. I feel like who is someone who loves to write and read is our buddy Blaze. And I'm curious if he's someone, and I know he was here before, if he's bringing up current events. I feel like it's something that he would definitely do. I mean, he has Blaze News on X, right? It's the news. He must be talking about that stuff.
If your kids like podcast, like Emmy went through the podcast like a couple of times and they stopped it at some point. I think I talked about it before. It's called Big Life Kids.
Big Life Kids.
Mm-hmm. Where these two characters, it's on Spotify, where these two, a boy and a girl, talk about different situations they get themselves into, and then they bring up other real life scenarios that they talk about, like how somebody overcame something, and it's usually like kids overcoming something, like they report from other kids or like people used to live a long time ago or something like that. It's been really cool. And Emmy loved that one. It was like it's like a mindset podcast for kids, but it's really she loved that one.
We're gonna check it out. Wait, say it one more time.
Big Life Kids.
Big Life Kids.
And
I'll check it out. You know what? We had it going. This was like perfect. It was going on for at least 2 months. Our kids got into Full House, like all the old, well, not all the old shows, but I would say Full House. There are like 2 other ones. Like Family Matters would have been awesome if they could like find Family Matters again, but like Full House they were watching. They were so into it. It was great. And so it was awesome to like Danny Tanner was teaching my children like life lessons for 2 months. And it was like at one point I was like, Danny, don't take that away from me. Like I felt a little bit jealous, and but it was like really awesome because like they were learning. Like it was really cool. I didn't really stop it. They kind of stopped, and I guess I wasn't talking about it as positively when I think Stephanie got to like a makeout party and they had to deal with it. And I was like, you're 8. We're going to chill out with this. Like we don't need to be. And so we weren't watching much after that, but they loved it. And it was really cool just to kind of learn those, because you were mentioning like the life lessons and, overcoming difficult situations. And like, that's really what all those shows were, like the 90s, like 90s sitcoms. Like it was about, families overcoming or kids overcoming a challenge. Yep. I now want to watch Camp Anawana. Has anyone seen Camp Anawana? We hold it in our hearts. No one. All right. Thanks, Anne.
I didn't live here back then. Some shows just didn't make it over, or movie, whatever it is. Or it might have been we translate all the shows and movies, so it might have also gotten a different title.
Maybe. Oh, Dom always shows up for me. It was called Salute Your Shorts, but Camp Anawana is where they were. That was location. That was the camp they were at. There was Donkey Lips.
So was it a movie or a show?
It was a show. It was a sitcom, right? It would be considered a sitcom, I guess. It was like, yeah, it was great. I remember the one time that Donkey Lips, and then what was his buddy's name? One of them had to gain weight because there was like an overweight one, there was an underweight one, and the underweight one had to eat. Like this would never happen now. Like there was no way that this show would be like no one would show this these days, the way things are. But there was one kid had to gain weight, and so like the camp counselor was like, "You're just gonna eat bananas for the next 3 days." So he just gave him a bunch of bananas and then had him sit in a wheelbarrow And then his friend who had he was just a little bit bigger. So he's like, you have to lose weight. You're going to carry your friend around in this wheelbarrow for 3 days. And I was like, oh man, I remember when I was younger, I was like, that might be a good idea. I wish my friend and I did that. But like now it would Budnick. My goodness, Dom. Thank you so much. That was it's a great show. There is a camp show that's like similar to like that. I recently saw my daughter kind of watching something like that. Anyway, we'll bring it back up another time. But guys, that's our current event. It's good news for growing humans. We'll bring it back. If you guys have any current events, let us know. We'll break that ice. All right. But that is a little bit beyond half an hour. I think I heard my wife go get our kids, which I hope happened, or else they're late to get picked up right now. But I might have to double check on that. We'll see. Anyway, guys, Thigh's feelings on the movie Heavyweights. Did you ever watch Heavyweights?
Nope.
Heavyweights was that was the camp, right? That was the summer camp. That was the quote unquote fat camp, right? Right, Greek Mike? Yeah. I wonder how that would go over these days. Because the message wasn't the message just about like overcoming. It was just about like bullying, and it was like advocating for yourself and getting, it was all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I do remember being a good movie. But yeah, I don't know how that would play out. That's really interesting. I think I want to bring up more of these movies and talk about whether they would be good or not. Man, John Candy. Was it John Candy? I don't know. I kind of forget now. Ben Stiller. Oh yeah, it was Ben Stiller. He was the camp counselor. He was like the mean guy. That is it's crazy. Yeah. Think of some other movies. Let's just talk about it again. I'd love to know if they could be played today. And then I also want to know, I actually think my kids would love watching it, to be honest with you. I might have to bring that up. So I would love to have a movie discussion, like nothing crazy. Just like hey, did we all watch that? What did our kids think of it? That'd be fun. All right, Anne, any last thoughts?
No.
No? Are we excited about a new comic coming out?
I am.
Great episode, by the way, yesterday.
Thank you.
I've been trying to leave comments on Spotify.
I saw it.
They're not helpful whatsoever, but they're there. All right, guys, we'll see you. Actually, I'm going to see Fridays are kind of iffy, but Monday through Thursday has been the goal. So maybe tomorrow. We'll see what's going on. But I know Dom and Jason will be back tomorrow. The beard, the coif. Can I say that? Is that wrong? But I love you guys, and we'll talk to you then.